And what she just said just doesn't make any sense. It's just like so silly to say. It's not a well thought out.
What Ryan Reynolds, has seemingly done, right, is used his power and influence to not only help Blake Lively take over this movie, but, he's used it, on Deadpool and to make fun of Justin Baldoni.
Joe Rogan just called out Ryan Reynolds, and the timing couldn't be worse. Marvel is allegedly blaming Ryan for ruining the Deadpool franchise, and now fans are turning against Hollywood's favorite wisecracking anti-hero. Is this the biggest downfall of his career or just another Marvel disaster? Let's break it all down because this story is absolutely wild. For years, Ryan Reynolds was Marvel's golden boy. He wasn't just playing Deadpool, he was practically the face of the franchise. He had a level of creative control no other MCU star had. But behind the scenes, things started to shift. Reports suggest Marvel executives were growing concerned about how much influence Ryan had over Deadpool. Unlike other Marvel actors who simply showed up, acted, and let the studio handle the rest, Ryan was involved in everything: scriptwriting, casting, marketing. This gave him real power. At first, Marvel saw this as a good thing. After all, Ryan had saved Deadpool from development hell by leaking test footage in 2014, which helped get the first movie made. But over time...
I mean, honestly, the way that I get into a character is through their style. So it was more about who Lily is that was so fascinating to me, is that she's a walking, talking contradiction, yet it's perfectly harmonious for her.
Hey, Blake. It is 2 in the morning. Hopefully this does not wake you up. Whew. Wow. There's so much I want to say to you, and I hope that we can FaceTime or see each other in person soon and get to talk more. But I'm just going to send you a few thoughts, and hopefully it's not going to be more than a few minutes. But I don't have the best track record. I don't think either one of us have the best track record for our voice memos. I want to start with an apology. Man, reading the second part of your message, my heart sank.
As their power struggle escalated, rumors spread that Blake was frustrated with how the movie was being promoted. She reportedly felt that the marketing and media coverage were highlighting Baldoni more than her. Some sources even claimed she considered leaving the project because she felt undervalued. Then came the real shocker. Accusations surfaced that Baldoni was leaking negative press about Blake, making her seem difficult and demanding on set. If true, this would be a serious allegation, as Hollywood has a long history of labeling female actors as difficult when they voice their opinions. However, just as the public began siding with Blake, a major twist changed everything. Lonnie. Text messages surfaced, and
I guess you've already met Mary Poppins, a.k.a. Dogpool. Careful where you put your hand. She's 90% G-spot, and she'll let you know it. You let this little flirt out of your sight for 1 second, and she starts shopping for a new papa. If you can't be a responsible pet owner, then maybe you don't deserve this little unicorn. Guilty on all charges, Your Honor.
Insiders claim that Ryan included direct shots at Justin Baldoni in Deadpool 3, and Marvel executives were furious when they found out. The Deadpool movies are known for their self-aware humor, often poking fun at celebrities, movie studios, and even Marvel itself. But reports suggest that Deadpool 3 contained multiple...
Well, that is also accurate and weirdly high praise as well. It was just one of those, it felt like a live-action Pixar movie. It was something that, I wanted to do something where nobody was being stabbed in the face.
Yes.
There was almost no blood at all. I think I got a little paper cut on the movie, that was about it. And something that my kids can watch, but also, as a parent, too, you want the parents need to get punched right in the heart as well.
Then, the bombshell dropped. After months of internal discussions, Marvel made the shocking decision to file a lawsuit against Ryan Reynolds. This wasn't just about creative disagreements, it was about controlling the future of the MCU. Reports suggest that Marvel's biggest concern was brand protection. If Ryan was using Deadpool 3 to settle personal grudges, it set a dangerous precedent. What if future Marvel stars did the same? What if Ryan's influence became a bigger problem than the studio could control? Marvel had reached its breaking point. No matter how popular Ryan was, they couldn't let him dictate the narrative of one of their biggest franchises. And just like that, Ryan Reynolds, once one of Marvel's most untouchable stars, became their biggest problem. The lawsuit sent shockwaves through Hollywood. Suddenly, Ryan's career was at risk. Major film projects he was attached to were reportedly put on hold as studios waited to see how the legal battle would unfold. Meanwhile, Blake Lively's reputation also took a hit. The leaked texts painted her not just as a strategic actress, but as someone willing to pull strings behind the scenes. Fans and industry insiders debated, was she simply protecting her career or had she crossed the line?
If you even aspire to be like a Hollywood actor and actress, in most circumstances, you're dealing with someone who probably has some narcissistic tendencies. I'm not saying everyone, okay? But the majority. This is why we have these stereotypes about Hollywood, right? They're not people that treat people well. They're all just trying to climb to the top and they'll do anything to get there.
But the fallout didn't stop there. Ryan Reynolds, known for his quick wit and sarcasm, went completely silent. No teasing tweets, no Deadpool-style jokes, no playful Hollywood jabs. For someone who built an entire brand on being unfiltered, his silence was deafening.
In the retrospect, this is all just so scary. It feels like a form of abuse against Blake. And she's not a victim of any of this. She's totally bratty, and we've gone through her messages as well. But I am just saying that the fact that he doesn't want to be apart from her, and now he's inserted himself into every layer of this movie, something's very wrong here, okay?
This raised even more questions. Was Ryan staying quiet to avoid making things worse, or had Marvel warned him to lay low while they assessed the situation?
My relationship with my father, which was very complicated and difficult. My dad was a very, I come from a middle class, kind of blue-collar home, and my dad was just of that generation where it's just like, he was Clint Eastwood, and less is more. Simple grunts is how he communicated.
Okay, gotcha.
I think people tell themselves stories, and this sort of comes back to your worldview that you just mentioned.
Then, an even more shocking rumor emerged. Marvel was reconsidering its future with Ryan Reynolds. At first, this seemed impossible. Ryan was the heart and soul of Deadpool. But then reports surfaced that Marvel was already exploring new creative directions for the character, fueling speculation that they might recast Deadpool entirely. Losing Deadpool wouldn't just mean stepping away from a blockbuster franchise. It would mean losing a character Ryan had fought to bring to life. It was his passion project, and walking away would be a major blow to his career.
There's no question it relates to Justin. I mean, anybody that can watch that, the hair bun, the comment about the pregnancy. I mean, it's pretty obvious what's being done. But again, like if somebody is seriously sexually harassed, you don't make fun of it. It's a serious.
We'll just start with revelation number one, which was that we were totally correct about Ryan Reynolds. What is that, like personality test? Is it called like an Enneagram personality type 1 through 9? Well, Ryan Reynolds on the Enneagram is a psycho. That's what he is. He's just a psycho. His number is psycho. And we had suspected, just by piecing together everything, that he didn't want Blake Lively to be away from him. Remember, I built out the timeline and I worked through it, and I realized that, oh, this is interesting. Like, Ryan Reynolds is filming at the same time as Blake Lively. He's also doing his Wrexham football stuff, and they're basically apart. And I'm sure he popped back a few times, but for like 4 months scheduled to be apart in a different country. And yeah, I felt that Ryan was kicking up some dust because he didn't want to leave Blake Lively alone with Justin Baldoni.
Now everyone is asking, did Marvel overreact or did Ryan push his influence too far? If Marvel believes he played a role in the drama surrounding It Ends With Us, they may see him as a liability. But if they cut ties with him, they risk upsetting a massive fan base that sees Ryan as the only true Deadpool.
Who owns the next movie script? I am going to invest myself everywhere. I'm going to be doing your movie premiere. I'm going to be doing promos and making fun of you, right? I'm going to put myself in the end credits. Like, this is like psychotic behavior, okay? And as long as Ryan's a lot smarter than her, and she therefore allows him to manipulate and control every layer of his life, so long as she can just, you know, be the princess, essentially, okay? Blake Lively is not a good person, that she has proven herself not to be a kind person, okay? And that's largely due to the fact that she is a modern feminist, and so she has to create struggle where there just isn't any, okay? She has a track record of being difficult to work with, from Armie Hammer, who got fired from Gossip Girl because he said during a dinner that she was a bitch, regarding Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, when I just recognize that they are up on their high horses and that they potentially treat people very badly and that really they're bored and rich. Another circumstance that made me see right through Ryan Reynolds and the kind of person that he is, when despite being friends with Joe Alwyn, who dated Taylor Swift for 5 years, she's best friends with Blake Lively, Ryan and Blake and two other of her friends all staged a mass unfollowing of Joe Alwyn like they were 13 years old. Okay, Ryan, you're 48 years old. Grow up. Literally grow up. I have not seen a case so open and shut in my life, and the more that I read and the more details that I get into, I'm just shocked at how many lies were told, okay?
The stakes couldn't be higher. If Marvel ultimately moves on without him, it could mark the end of Ryan Reynolds as Hollywood's wisecracking anti-hero. And in an industry where perception is everything, recovering from this loss wouldn't be easy. What do you think? Has Ryan Reynolds finally gone too far, or is Marvel making a mistake? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more shocking Hollywood updates, because, trust me, this story is far from over.